On the 7th of August, 1941, in the city of Calcutta, a man died. His mortal remains perished, but he left behind him a heritage which no fire could consume. It is a heritage of words and music and poetry, of ideas and of ideals, and it has the power to move us, to inspire us, today and in the days to come. We, who owe him so much, salute his memory.
Rabindranath Tagore, born to Maharshi Devendranath Tagore and Sharada Devi at Jorashako Thakurbari, Kolkata on 7th of May 1861. He married to Mrinalini Devi at the age of 22 years. First Asian and first non-European to win Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. For independent India, it was the first Nobel Prize. Gitanjali, the song offerings, reflection of Tagore's consciousness, wisdom and philosophy, brought him the Nobel. Contribution of two national anthems, Jana Gana Mana for India and Amar Sonar Bangla for Bangladesh. Tagore songs inspired legendary personalities like Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, Netaji Subhash Bose, Mahatma Gandhi and likes. He was never comfortable in the system of education in schools and was a dropout from 4 schools. 1915, he was offered knighthood from British government, but he returned it in pain in the backdrop of Jallianwala Bagh violence in 1919. Composed 2,200 music, 2,300 creative artwork paintings, and innumerable literary stories, short stories, novels, verses, Sonar Tori being a compilation of 7 volumes of poetry, travelled extensively in India and 34 countries of the world, worked extensively with his heart and soul to build Shantiniketan, the abode of peace and education, not confined in 4 walls, which later became Vishwabharati. University of London bestowed an honorary doctorate title to this legendary Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was one of the greatest literary and artistic figures of universal love and brotherhood through his artistic genius. His verse is simple and beautiful. He lived as he wrote, not for pleasure or profile, but out of joy, not as a brilliant egotist, but as a dedicated spirit. He was fully conscious that his genius was a gift from the divine and it should be used for the service of humanity. On philosophy, fundamental principles in educational philosophy. 4 such things he explained: naturalism, humanism, internationalism, and idealism. Universal brotherhood beyond parochial, narrow national interest only. Universal love and brotherhood was his mantle. On religion, my religion is my life. It is growing with my growth. It has never been grafted on me from outside. Tagore wrote to Robert Bridges on 8th of July 2014. Religion is the realization of a man's true nature. Relationship of soul with God needs the relationship with the man. Rabindranath Tagore on science. Poetry and physics are poles apart. Poet thrives on imagination, while physicists sifts through imagination to find facts. Tagore befriended a lot of scientists, met Albert Einstein several times, and discussed, among other things, the music and quantum mechanics. Both of them tried to understand each other. He had deep bonds with Jagdish Chandra Bose, Prashanta Mahalanobis, the statistician. Albert Einstein agreed that imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination circles the world. Tagore on art. Art is an expression of the universal through the individual. Fetched worldwide attention as self-composed style of imagery, which was felt through, and it was referred as a childlike, but it was never childish. He started his art work basically from the corrections of his writings, and from there he has actually mastered that art, and the creative domain of his genius explored hugely. Vishwabharati University, Tagore used all his efforts and Nobel money in transforming Shantiniketan to an outstanding open international university in India. His entire heart and soul has gone into this endeavor to give this system of education on a different platter. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore's Nobel citation, which was awarded to him, goes like this. Because of his profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse, by which, with consummate skill, he has made his poetic thoughts expressed in his own English words, a part of literature of the West.
The human world is made one. All the countries are losing their distance every day, their boundaries not offering the same resistance as they did in the past age. Politicians struggle to exploit this great fact and to wrangle about establishing trade relationships. But my mission is to urge for a worldwide commerce of heart and mind, sympathy and understanding, and never to allow this sublime opportunity to be sold in the slave markets for the cheap price of individual profits, or be shattered away by the unholy competition in mutual destructiveness.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. This song is commonly known as Akla Chalo Re and has commanded resonance in all parts of our motherland and the world. Written and composed in 1905 in the backdrop of Bongo Bongo Andolon. In this movement, the British Raj was trying to divide Bengal in religious lines, and this created havoc in Bengal. In support of the Bongo Bongo Road and to inspire the people for a national uprising against the British Raj, Tagore had composed this song. In his words, a lamp can never light another lamp unless it continues to burn in its own flame. A love for motherland gets deep-rooted in this song. If nobody supports your call or conscience, you move alone. This particular song was translated into several Indian languages. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে. একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে একলা চলো রে. যদি কেউ কথা না কয় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা কেউ কথা না কয়. যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায় সবাই করে ভয়. যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায় সবাই করে ভয়. তবে পরাণ খুলে তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. The Telugu version. Evadu kakavi nirakoina sadeva karave padavoy. Evadu kakavi nirakoina sadeva karave padavoy. Apudu okkarave 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 padavoy. Apudu okkarave 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 padavoy. Evadu kakavi nirakoina sadeva karave padavoy. Maru mata lekuna ore ore abhyagura mata lekuna. Mari bhai machindi janvanita kar mukhamaina. Mari bhai machindi janvanita kar mukhamaina. Ni manasamiti nine manmavido tellamuga vakarave padavoy. Ni manasamiti nine manmavido tellamuga vakarave padavoy. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে. একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে. ওরে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে.
Rabindranath said, I had at one time believed that the springs of civilization would issue out of the heart of Europe. But today, when I am about to leave the world, that faith has deserted me. I look around and see the crumbling ruins of a proud civilization strewn like a vast heap of futility. And yet, I shall not commit the grievous sin of losing faith in man, I shall look forward to a new dawn, to a new chapter in history when the Holocaust will end and the air will be rendered clean with the spirit of service and sacrifice. Perhaps the dawn will come from this horizon, from the east, where the sun rises. On that day will unvanquished man retrace his path of conquest, surmounting all barriers to win back his lost human heritage.